which is a good thing in the early season. Let's see how Duke responds. Caleb Foster, as we said, the most tenured player on the Duke roster, yet to score for the Blue Devils. Let's see what he can do in the second half.
Went 0 for 4 in that first half. Boozer down low, draws the foul, and we'll head to the line.
It's a play by the coaching staff out of the timeout to feed the post, get Boozer on the low block, able to draw the foul. We talked about UCF's just great job protecting the rim in the first half, really taking away straight line drives, limiting layups.
Especially against a Duke team that Coach Shire talked today about the ability of the bigs of his club to play with a back to the basket and to pass and to score. UCF, to your point, took a lot of that away.
Really good one-on-one defenders. And as we said, Chris, seasoned players. I mean, Evan Cambridge has played 141 career games. He's in his 7th year of basketball. He's 24 years old. Several players on this UCF roster in their 5th year. Duke's out there right now with 3 sophomores and 2 freshmen. Isaiah Thomas pulling it from the corner and can't knock it down.
Evans had a big first half.
Called him Isaiah Thomas. Did you hear that?
I think he would take it. That's a compliment, I think. But how about the answer on the other end? It's Kugel who knocks, or pardon me, Folks who knocks down the 3, his first of the night.
And you know, a big part of the halftime conversation by Coach Shire was transition defense. It was a big focus in shoot-around today.
Boozer wide open. Misses the 3. And it goes back to the Knights. So UCF started slow offensively in that first half. 4 of their first 17. The Knights, man, they were phenomenal at the back half. 12 of their last 20 to get back in it and eventually take the lead.
Yeah, keep fighting. That was a big defensive mistake on that switch for them. Left a wide open Boozer, but we can see for the Knights, they're not going to quit. They're here to play. They're here to win.
Stillwell was open, wouldn't take the shot. Stillwell tries this time. Front rim miss, and the Blue Devils want to run. Foster looks over the chess pieces. Boozer back to Foster. And a foul on UCF. Very disjointed on that possession for Duke.
And the physical play by the Knights continues.
To that point, and we talked about it earlier, 3rd year in the Big 12 for UCF. Coach Dawkins talked before the season about needing to get some bigger bodies, some more physical bodies to withstand the wear and tear in the Big 12.
He knows what he needs to compete in the league. Gumba blocked at the rim.
Boozer to the hole for 2 more.
Just give him the ball right from the top of the key, straight to the rim. A great finish. 2 more for the glass.
Boozer, the most highly touted of the freshman class for the Blue Devils, has played very well in his Duke debut tonight. But Cambridge, not to be deterred, gets his first bucket.
Great job by Cambridge getting behind the defense on that back cut. That's just losing your man for Duke. Those are those defensive mistakes that they're going to study in film when there's a foul on the floor. You can watch right here where the defense breaks down and Boozer steps up and he doesn't see his man, who smartly reads the defense, slides in behind and finishes that too.
Cambridge, another veteran player in his 6th year, Texas Tech transfer. Over 1,000 career points. Now Boozer back to work, lost the handle. Another turnover for the Blue Devils. UCF by 1. Extra pass looking for Burks, and it'll stay with the Knights. Good active hands there by Jimena.
Like to see those freshmen making good defensive plays. They learn more about the system defensively every day. It's a big jump from high school to college defense.
What do you think the biggest adjustment is on the defensive end for a freshman?
I think physicality is a big deal, especially when you play against older, more experienced players. But just defensive schemes, learning how to fit into the system.
UCF by 3. Jimena drives off the window for 2.
There he goes, able to get to the rim that time. He has struggled to get to the rim, but able to break the defense down off the dribble. And we can see how strong he is as he powers it into the hole.
First field goal for the rookie out of Los Angeles. Pulls Duke to within one. A step back wouldn't go for Fulks. And it's back to the Blue Devils.
Here's the freshman, Nicholas Amenia. Gets poked in the eye there, but then he splits two defenders and just uses some brute strength to finish it off the glass. Gets on the board for his first bucket. I'm sure it'll be the first of many.
Exactly what I was going to say. Blue Devils working through Amenia here. Feeds Boozer on the baseline. Boozer to his right and scores.
Two dribbles and a soft touch high off the glass. I like that isolation for Cameron Boozer down there. Blue Devils by one.
Back in front in this seesaw affair. Kugel, good find for Stidwell. Left it short. Gungba boards the rebound. Evans lost it, but he will head to the line when we come back. You know, tonight is the second.
The biggest icon of the game of men's basketball.
You know, we talked with Coach Dawkins about styles and systems, and he said that Coach K and Duke is always going to be part of what he does and how he teaches the game of basketball.
Enough said right there.
Yeah. Johnny Dawkins, Duke Hall of Famer, Naismith Hall of Famer. Second in career points at Duke behind some guy named J.J. Redick.
And that record, his scoring record, held for, I think, 20 years, though.
Jersey was retired in 1986 here at Cameron. But his team is in a battle tonight, and UCF refusing to go away as Fulks ties the game.
Duke tried to come out with a little full-court pressure to slow them down a bit, but again, creating these one-on-one shot opportunities mid-range. Got a lot of guys that are good at that.
Boozer finds Harris. Thought about a three. 9 to shoot for the Blue Devils. It's Boozer. Up with the right hand and a chance for three.
Give him the ball. Wow.
Boozer has taken over for the Blue Devils tonight.
Certainly living up to his billing, and another drive from the top of the key. Uses his footwork to maneuver to finish that one. Let's see if he can make it a three-point play.
Boozer approaching a double-double, 8 rebounds to go along with his 23 points.
Pretty efficient, 9 for 15.
And only 23 minutes. Blue Devils by 3. Can Fulks answer? No.
Great help by the freshman, Amenia.
Boozer in transition. Oh, give it to him!
He is making the most of his Cameron debut.
Third three for Boozer. And Johnny Dawkins calls time.
To fill the void vacated by the 5 starters who all went to the NBA.
He's put the Blue Devils back in front. And UCF trying to respond. Fulks running the show for the Knights, one of the 3 captains on this UCF team. Parker into the paint, left it short, gets his own rebound and scores.
Great pass to the weak side and a pull and go, but great hustle on the offensive glass for the second chance opportunity.
Just 4 offensive rebounds for UCF tonight. Duke's done a nice job overall limiting the Knights to 1 possession.
Coach Dawkins is going to be happy just with this Knights defense. Great ball pressure. They're taking away vision. They're taking away driving lines. And Isaiah Evans there getting himself to the rim for the foul.
You like the way the Blue Devils have made more of a concerted effort, it seems, to get into the paint in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job spreading the floor because they can go 5 out. Nice job there attacking the rim. But UCF has done a really nice job defending the rim, defending the paint.
Isaiah Evans, such a huge step in the summer from his rookie campaign to now in his sophomore season. And as we talked about earlier, Coach Shire talked about One of the big keys for Evans is just his consistency on the defensive end. Says the offense is going to be there, just wants him to be a little better on the other end of the floor.
Yeah, I think he's got to be consistent on both sides of the ball, especially defense. We know he can score, but we've seen huge games from him last year offensively and the ones where he didn't score a whole lot. So I think the coaching staff would love to see really consistent play from him on both sides of the ball. Duke is clearly going to need his scoring this year. Boozer, what a beast on the boards.
Amenya splits a double team and will head to the line. Foul on Stillwell.
And that's one of the first times tonight we've seen Duke get down the floor in transition and create an advantage.
Is that maybe the pace that Duke wants to play with?
I mean, we know Duke's likes to run, and they're a great transition team. But again, you said earlier, it's like you want to do a good job taking care of the ball, and they've done a decent job taking care of the ball tonight.
Should also remember only 8 players for the Blue Devils tonight, with Dame Sarr and Malik Brown not available for Coach Shire's club.
And, you know, just those 2 players alone, not having them on the defensive end, is the most disruptive defenders in the Duke lineup. I mean, the other players have had to step up and fill that void. When you lose your 2 best defenders, that makes things a little difficult.
Amenya hits them both. Back to an 8-point lead for the Blue Devils. Duke led by as many as 12 in the first half. Burks, who had the hot hand in the opening half, swatted away by Evans. Now Evans on the other end attacks the rack and scores.
That ignites the crazies, and here's the response by UCF, driving it to the bucket, missing the 3, and here comes Duke in transition.
Harris doesn't have numbers to the bucket anyway, and cleaning it up is Boozer. Blue Devils by 12. Defense leading the offense for Coach Shire's team.
Blue Devils putting together a run. They got the crazies on their feet.
Fultz can't answer. Harris gets the rebound and a foul on the Knights. Isaiah Evans, the spark plug for the Blue Devils.
We've been talking about his defense, and watch this rotation.
Just for the rest of the game as well.
Blue Devils are starting to get to the line. 22 free throws in this game. There's Darren Harris. He's got 6 points on the evening, make it 7.
Harris, as you pointed out earlier, could be a big key for what the Blue Devils want to do this year.
I think he's another player with consistency that's much needed by the Blue Devils. We know he can score. He didn't get a lot of minutes last year, so he's able to step into a new role this year, get some more playing time. He's a really solid defender. His scoring will be key.
Former Gatorade Player of the Year in high school.
His ability to stretch the floor for the team, knock down some long-range shots.
Blue Devils by 14, their biggest lead. Kugel denies the screen, and a foul on Harris. Blue Devils wanted the charge, but didn't get it.
But I like that Harris saw that coming, and he rotated.
Gets the and one opportunity and converts. It's a big answer for UCF with the Blue Devils making that run.
The crowd in the game now. Same play as the beginning of the game. The slip on the high screen. Great read. Easy bucket.
Boozer to Boozer there.
We're going to have to come up with a name for that.
I imagine we'll say that a lot this season. Step back 3 will go for Kugel. His first triple of the night.
Starting to heat up a little bit.
Kugel into double figures, scored in double figures 17 times last year. But back to the Boozer to Boozer connection.
And I'm sure we're going to see it many times this season. The slip on the screen, Cameron to Caden for the easy layup.
Probably been practicing that since they were 3-4 years old in the backyard. Might have been practicing it here at Cameron. Boozer through a double team, finds Amenya in the corner. Another hustle rebound by Evans. Boozer steps out, drives, and give him 2 more.
That is just brute strength from the perimeter, powering his way to the rim. God, he's fun to watch.
28 for the rookie. Ten to shoot for UCF. Burks has been quiet in the second half, hasn't scored after 18 in the first half, and he's still scoreless. Hamenya in transition.
Angle on both the men's and women's side.
Hamenya at the line, coming out of the timeout.
So how about this, Chris?
Okay.
Last year, we got to watch Cooper Flag lead the team in like every statistical category. Right now in this game, Cameron Boozer, 28 points, 11 rebounds, leads the team, and also 4 assists. So getting it done like in all the statistical categories, and a double-double in his first outing.
It's a pretty good night. Also leads the team with 27 minutes played tonight. Blue Devils lead by 13. Now maybe the Knights just looking for an answer offensively. Stillwell is fouled, and the Knights will keep it on this end of the floor. A lot of credit, I think, Debbie, goes to the Blue Devils' defense in the second half. UCF just 9 of 14 from the field in the first almost 10 minutes.
And I'm sure that was a big message at halftime as well. Stick to our defensive principles, and this is where we talk about competitive stamina. Can you do it for 40 minutes? Can you play defense at the same level in the second half in the last 10 minutes that you played in the first 10?
Sebastian Wilkins back in there for the Blue Devils. Played 2 minutes in that opening half. Johnson gonna fire a 3. Run by the rebound.
Caleb Foster still yet to score. Little kick ball right there. You like to see Gungwa and Boozer, like these bigs that can pass and play make for Duke. It really relieves pressure sometimes and creates some other options.
Gungba on the baseline. What a turnaround move, everything but the finish, and the Knights get it back.
I like the aggressive move, though. Duke's going to need some scoring production from Patrick this season.
Will probably help some when the Blue Devils get fully healthy. Sarr and Brown get back. We'll take a little bit of that pressure off.
Without a doubt. Like you said, you're really kind of 8 deep tonight. Short bench.
And I think Coach Shire said this too. The Blue Devils were hoping to get some coachable, teachable moments out of this game before they head to Tennessee for their second exhibition this week.
And I think they've got some really good opportunities to learn from this game. While they're widening this gap to 13 points. And nice to see them bounce back.
And particularly given the challenging non-conference schedule that Duke's going to play this year.
It is a beast. We're going to talk about a little bit about it later, but it's a lot.
Especially for a young team that has to replace all 5 starters from a Final Four trip a year ago. Harris kicks it to the corner. Hamenya with the triple. His first of the night.
Great ball movement, side to side, patience on offense, wide open look. Nicely done by Duke.
And an answer for Stillwell, his first points in the second half.
Stillwell only with 7, averaged 13 last season.
Gungba keeps the possession alive. Foster creates space, finds Gungba for the flush.
Great job by Caleb Foster. He might not be scoring, but he's playing great defense, and right there, heads up assist to Gungba.
And the bucket on the other end for Kugel.
Another easy shot in transition.
Wilkins for Gungba, who steps out, misses the triple, crashing the glass is Harris.
There's that crash we talked about. Offensive rebounds, create extra possessions. Great job by the sophomore Darren Harris.
That goes back to what Coach Shire talked about in terms of winning in the margins, doesn't it?
It does, a little bit, we asked him a little bit about what's a little different about this year's team, and he talked a lot about crashing the offensive glass.
Blue Devils by 13. They led by just 1 at the break, but it's been one of those throwback second halves for this Duke basketball club.
And the first half is always going to be jitters, great pass, and you see Dumba's ability to play on the perimeter and pass the ball and distribute.
We'll send Harris to the line when we return. Blue Devils pulling away here.
Favorite places to play and put them in tough road games, neutral site games, on the road at Michigan State. It's definitely a gauntlet, and it'll really test this young Blue Devil team.
Set a schedule to set the Blue Devils up to be their best at the end of the year, and also talked about how guys come to Duke to play in those kind of games.
Exactly. I thought that was a great point.
Easier to learn when you're in a battle versus maybe winning games by wide margins.
Learn early, be playing your best basketball in March.
Darren Harris has had a nice game for the Blue Devils. Gets his own rebound there. And a fresh 20 for Duke. Foster up top. And Boozer fighting for the rebound, went over the back.
But I love how he's in there fighting from the rebound. He comes charging in from the perimeter.
How about the night for Cameron Boozer? 28 points, 11 rebounds. It's a pretty strong debut for a rookie.
And 4 assists, sharing the ball.
Blue Devils have done a nice job of sharing the basketball. 14 assists on 25 makes.
And Boozer just continuing to switch on the perimeter.
Nice game for Isaiah Evans as well. 14 points, a couple of rebounds. And his defense really sparked that run for the Blue Devils earlier this half.
Great block coming from the weak side. And the coaching staff was excited to see that.
And the first points of the second half for Jordan Burks. He's got 21. Still plenty of time for UCF if you are into what the final score is of an exhibition game on October 21st.
Plenty of time. They did a great job coming back in the first half.
Evans wants Boozer.
Knights are doing a really nice job closing up the gaps, taking away the driving lines.
We talk a lot about the depth of this Duke team, 8 players available tonight. What does a game like this do?
Defenders and arguably 2 of your better players. It gives other players a chance to play in this environment, an early season game. It gives the coaching staff a chance to see what they'll do in this kind of situation, how much they need to grow, but it gives them an opportunity to showcase what they can do and make themselves an argument for playing time.
Good rebound by Boozer. Duke wants to run. Foster head fakes, fires a 3, and knocks it down.
Great job by Caden Boozer to find Caleb Foster, one of the best shooters on the team. Nice patience by Foster with the shot fake. He needed that bucket, his first of the game.
Good contest by Jimenez. And Duke wants to slow things down. Chance for the Blue Devils to work on some half-court offense.
And a chance for Foster, who's a great scorer, to move to an off-guard position and perhaps get more opportunities to shoot the ball.
7 to shoot for Evans. Boozer to Foster. And Boozer for 3. Oh, he banked it in! 31 for Boozer.
And great shot by Boozer, but right back at you on the other end. And there's going to be a big focus in film tomorrow on transition defense. You have to stop the ball. They talked about it in shoot around, and the Knights just power back down the floor and give him a layup. Here's Boozer with the shot clock winding down. You can watch it click to 0 off the glass. He's excited about that one.
The bank is open late tonight.
31 points for the freshman in his debut. Cameron's debut in Cameron.
Setting the bar kind of high, though, for the rest of his season. Like if he goes for Devils, head to Tennessee for an exhibition later this week. And there's a pretty proud papa.
There he is.
Had a phenomenal career. See the next games for these two teams. Another stern test for UCF. They'll take on LSU at home later this week.
A lot of pride in Cameron tonight. We talked about Coach K and his legacy of players who are now coaches, but how about Carlos Boozer with, you know, such a great Duke player and NBA player, but to have his sons both wearing the Blue Devil uniform, it's got to just really fill you up.
It speaks to the legacy of this program, doesn't it? And now you've got generations of families playing for the Blue Devils. Something special about this place and about this program.
Without a doubt.
And the Blue Devils with a big second half have pulled away. Foster to Boozer. And it's Caden who gets in on the action.
Spread the floor. Caleb Foster is able to beat his defender. Heads up play for the assist to Caden Boozer. Drills it.
Folks up top. And another rebound for the Blue Devils and Caleb Foster.
Now Caleb has not.
Might be the first time he's missed one tonight. Folks, it's had a nice game. Beal from the corner, no.
Nicholas is going to slow it down a little bit. This game's been going back and forth.
The response by the Blue Devils after a really challenging end of the first half, probably something Coach Shire is going to talk about, and the pride that he has of the way his team responded in the final 20 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit of a challenge and come back and extend this to a great teacher, a great tactician, a great teacher of team culture, and he's really good at running the basketball business. But more than that, he's just a great guy.
The clock, I don't think, ever started, perhaps. No, I did. There's just a foul. And the way that Coach Shire has sort of reinvented college basketball and the way that you go about it, bringing Jason Tatum in as an ambassador to the program, bringing in Rachel Baker as the first general manager, and that's obviously a trend that has continued across sport.
Yeah, he really sees basketball business as a big picture, and not only does he create a tremendous sense of family here in the brotherhood, but he understands that he is running a business that's changing every day.
And he talked about, for his team, and the importance of playing these brotherhood run games for the current players to understand the history and why Duke basketball is what it is. And tonight, Johnny Dawkins, a great example. Coach Shire called him the most influential player in Duke basketball history.
Yeah, and I just think that's just speaks to his humility, and John understands that the past has dictated the future and the present, and he's just paid tremendous tribute to Johnny Dawkins and what he meant to this program. Johnny Dawkins was really the turning point for Duke basketball when he came along and got them to the national championship game in his senior year. But John respects the program, respects the history, and he wants the guys to know about the players who came before him that built this program.
Really respects Coach Dawkins too, and told some great stories today about his time as a player, and Coach Dawkins as a coach. Said that one of the first times Coach Dawkins really spoke to him, Coach Dawkins challenged the competitiveness of John Shire. And John Shire says, you can say a lot of things, but don't challenge my competitiveness. And you see, man, the career that Johnny Dawkins had as a player, graduated as the school's all-time leading scorer on staff here for a decade. And his fingerprints are all over this Duke basketball program. He
really was kind of the rocket ship that launched Duke, along with Coach K, and they took it to the next level, and they never looked back. 2,556 career points. That's a lot of buckets.
Coach Dawkins was on staff when J.J. Redick broke his scoring record. Like, why not just take him out of the game?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just when it gets close, take him out.
Corner three is no good for Cameron Sheffield, as the Blue Devils closing in on the first of many victories here in Cameron this year.
One of the things I think the coaching staff will really looking at this game tonight is the number of times Duke has gotten to the free throw line, which means they're attacking the basket and crashing the boards. 32 free throws, they've made 23 of them, so they're shooting 72%. In opposition, the Knights have only taken 6 free throws. So they've limited fouling. So you want to play defense, you want to learn defense, but you want to play with discipline, which means you can't foul. You keep your man in front of you. So I think good job on both sides there for the Blue Devils.
And it's not just getting to the line for Duke. As you mentioned, they've converted those opportunities. Better than 70% from the free throw line. A team that shot almost 80% from the stripe, the best in the ACC last year.
17 assists on 28 made shots, a good percentage there. And only 8 turnovers. And they've done a nice job taking care of the ball.
By the way, Zach Johnson, a couple of free throws there. I imagine for him, pretty cool. He's a North Carolina native from down the road in Southern Pines, so a North Carolina kid getting a chance to play in Cameron. Wilkins in the corner for 3.
Sebastian Wilkins, the freshman, getting on the scoreboard. Everybody's getting in the game.
Bit of a push off there. Wilkins plays the pass nicely and goes coast to coast for the dunk.
Great job by the freshman. Back-to-back buckets, making his presence known in Cameron.
If you're Coach Dawkins, Debbie, what are going to be the biggest things you take away from the game tonight?
You scored 70-something points on Duke, one of the best defensive teams in the country. And granted, they're young right now, but I thought UCF had some really good offensive moments. I thought defensively they protected the rim really well. They haven't finished the game by any means. And, you know, Duke has just really stepped their game up, but I think he's going to talk to them about playing from start to finish. But I think he's got to, from a team that's, we said 14 brand new faces, I think he's got to be proud of some of the things he's seen tonight as the pieces come together.
They're going to play a challenging non-conference schedule as well. Playing 8 teams that went to the NCAA tournament a year ago. Coach Dawkins was very honest about the importance of playing a competitive non-conference, particularly getting into the Big 12.
It's definitely a tough league. I mean, some basketball elite in the Big 12, and it's going to be tough to break into that top 5 for anyone.
Couple of misses at the line, and the Blue Devils can soft this one away with 95 seconds left. Boozer fires a 2, and it's UCF basketball.
Getting to see a little bit more of the Duke roster. Some of the newer guys transferred. Jack Scott from Princeton. He's a great shooter, can really help Duke space the floor, but he also is a really great vocal leader, great voice in the locker room. And Ife Ufechukwu, you say that, Chris.
You got it.
That's our challenge of the season. Ife Ufechukwu, redshirt senior, transfer from Rice, originally from Nigeria. He gives the team great length at 6'11". So everybody on the bench an opportunity to play this evening, which is nice for the Blue Devils. Everybody's been practicing hard. Cam Sheffield's in the game, graduate student.
I believe everybody that's available for the Blue Devils has now played. Ufechukwu at the line for the Blue Devils. Been practicing.
You can work on it a little, but it's not bad for a first shot.
It's preseason for everybody. If he played a couple of years at Rice, 25 career games for the Owls.
Cam Sheffield played at Rice as well for 3 years before coming to Durham last year. So nice connection to the Rice Owls.
Empty trip for the Blue Devils with 70 seconds to go. A minute to go. Warakuna Crow lost the handle, and it'll stay with the Knights.
That was great on-ball defense right there by Sebastian Wilkins and Caden Boozer, keeping their man in front of him, hands high, not fouling. Well done.
10 seconds to shoot. Parker misses the runner, and the Blue Devils the other way. Scott, a nice dish inside, but unable to finish. Ufechukwu will go to the line.
And Jack Scott, great look, good vision, finding Ufechukwu under the basket to get him to the line.
Everyone has contributed for John Shire's team tonight.
Devils shooting 43% from the floor on the game, 34 from the three-point line.
And we've talked a lot about the second half, but certainly feels like this second half is more indicative of the style of basketball Duke's going to play throughout the season.
For sure.
A 56-point second half, and the Blue Devils, who led by 1 at the break, used a big run to pull away and nearly forced a turnover.
Great job on the show there by Ufushuku.
Johnson misses the 3. Kunakro gets the rebound. Kunakro, a former walk-on that played 3 minutes for UCF last year.
He's one of the few tie players in Division I, which I thought was really cool.
And the Knights are going to run this one out. 2 to shoot. Kunakro with the scoop, wouldn't go. And with 0.3 of a second, the Blue Devils just have to inbound it to come away with a victory.
Good second half for Duke.
96-71.